Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 46 of Radio Free Filler. Before we proceed with our regular show, we have a special segment, News for Cats. Our regular announcer, Buster Budget, will be our presenter. We have provided him with the appropriate furnishings for this type of performance, and he has thoroughly prepared for this special role. So now it's time for News for Cats. Buster? Buster? Oh, Buster! Buster, turn around. Face the camera. That's better. Now, please begin with your first story. Buster, it's time for you to begin your presentation. It's News for Cats, remember? Never mind that ball of yarn. Start reading. Can somebody please take the yarn away? Come on, he can't hurt you. He doesn't have claws. That's better. Now, Buster?
What?
It's time to present News for Cats.
Oh, all right. Nothing happened. Nothing. That's all. Okay? Hey, isn't it dinner time or something?
No, it's not dinner time.
Well, I think it is. I don't have to be here, you know. I could be taking a nap.
Buster, turn back to the camera.
I could be out catching dinner.
Turn back.
Oh, yes, there's another thing. I was expecting catnip in my dressing room, like we had during rehearsal. I don't care what happened that time. As far as I'm concerned, nothing happened. Not a thing. This is about the upholstery, right? Hey, it was there. I'm not responsible, okay?
But, Buster...
Look, I don't wish to discuss it. The subject is closed. Give me back my yarn.
Buster? Buster! Buster, come back! Oh well, that was our very own Buster Budget presenting our special segment, News for Cats. Now we'll carry on with even more fairy tales for insects. Kristen?
This is the story of Little Red Lightning Bug. That's why it's called that. One evening, Little Red Lightning Bug went through the deep, dark woods to visit her grandmother. Her grandmother was waiting for her. "Hello, Grandma," said Little Red Lightning Bug. "I had an idea as I was on my way here." "What is it, my child?" asked the grandmother. "I was thinking it might be fun if I called you Grand Moth," said Little Red Lightning Bug. "May I?" "No," said the grandmother. "It doesn't scan." "Oh," said Little Red Lightning Bug. She decided to change the subject. "Why, Grandma," she said, "what a nice big room you have here." "It's not much," replied the grandmother, "but it's home." "Why, Grandma," said Little Red Lightning Bug, "what bright eyes you have." "Never mind that," said the grandmother. "Why are you blinking red instead of green?" "I don't know," said Little Red Lightning Bug. "I guess I was just made that way." "Well, get out of here," said the grandmother. "You're weird." And so Little Red Lightning Bug went back sadly through the deep, dark woods. However, before she completed her trip, she came to a clearing where she was greeted by a jolly fat man all in red. His eyes twinkled and his dimples were merry. The jolly fat man, all in red, took one look at Little Red Lightning Bug and asked, "Oh, lightning bug with tail so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" But Little Red Lightning Bug just flew far, far away, and she never saw the jolly fat man again. Years later, when she was asked about refusing to guide the sleigh, she said, "I figured that was just code for something else."
And now we have Gritsy Grits reading The Three Dumb Little Spiders.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little spiders. One day, their mother said, "I'm kicking you all out. You shouldn't even be here. Spiders don't have to nurture their young." "But, Mama," said the first little spider, "what about wolf spiders?" "Shut up," said Mama Spider. "I'm not a wolf spider and neither are you." "But, Mama," asked the second little spider, "what kind of spiders are we then?" "Shut up," said Mama Spider. "Spiders don't have to know what kind of spider they are." "But, Mama," asked the third little spider, "how are we supposed to make our way in the world?" "That's your problem," said Mama Spider. "Now shut up and get out, you little freeloaders." And so the 3 little spiders made their way disconsolately into the great wide world. Now the first little spider looked around anxiously for a place in which to build his web. He was nervous on his first day out on his own, so he decided to build just as quickly as possible, using whatever materials were lying around. He happened to be by a little patch of dead straw, so he used it to construct a lightweight, flexible web. The work went quickly because the straw was so easy to carry, and he soon stepped back and regarded his handiwork with satisfaction. Then he climbed up onto it and went to sleep. The second little spider regarded the already finished straw web of his brother spider, and he had his doubts, like about how well such a web would withstand a strong breeze. It appeared to be flexible, he granted that much, but it also looked a little too fragile for his liking. The second little spider looked around and picked out a shady place at the edge of a forest. He decided to build his web there. He was still in a bit of a hurry, and he didn't want to spend too much time on the selection of building materials, so he wound up making his web out of the sticks and twigs he found scattered over the nearby ground. The wooden web took more effort, but it also seemed stronger and more secure than the straw web. The second little spider was quite tired at the end of his labors, so he too climbed up in his new home and went to sleep. The third little spider just looked at the work of his 2 brothers and shook his head. However, he didn't do it right away because it took a fair amount of time for his brother spiders to complete their webs. I mean, let's be realistic. The first thing that the third little spider actually did was go to the store and use the money he'd been saving from his allowance to buy a nice supply of bricks and mortar. He also purchased a trowel and some plumb line to assure the sturdiest construction possible. How the hell he did this is beyond the imagination of even the most credulous reader, but I guess that the need to prove some kind of point completely supersedes the need to maintain any realism whatsoever. We'll just have to go with it. Anyway, the third little spider took all day and all night to finish his brick and mortar web. He was able to work continuously through the night because he also bought coffee and a really good flashlight, and you're a damn fool if you're buying into any of this for even a minute. Finally, the third little spider's work was done, and he too decided to rest. Now, it was actually over a week later when a solitary wolf happened by and noticed the three unusual webs. He wasn't a wolf spider, just an ordinary wolf. The wolf sniffed at the straw web, but he backed away for fear of damaging it. Then the wolf considered the wooden web, but since it seemed to him to be more of a curiosity than anything else, he left that one alone as well. It was the third web, made of brick and mortar, that intrigued the wolf. I wonder if it would withstand the force of my breath if I huffed and puffed and blew, thought the wolf. But he only thought the thought and didn't actually say it out loud because wolves can't talk. Then the wolf decided not to waste his breath and just walked away in search of something actually edible. As for the three little spiders, they'd all died of starvation by then because none of their webs were suitable for trapping or containing prey. And that's why this story is called The Three Dumb Little Spiders.
Thank you, Gritsy Grits. Now we have a special appearance from Odie and Mashy, performing The Grasshopper and the Ant and vice versa.
Hey, Ant!
Hey, Hopper.
Have you heard the latest?
Not likely. You know how it is for me. Work, work, work. No vacation, no sick days, no nothing. I'm just glad I'm not a mammal.
How come?
I couldn't get maternity leave.
Oh, yeah.
So, what is the latest?
Some guy is making up stories about us.
No kidding. Are they any good?
No, just some goody two-shoes moralizing about how great it is to work all the time, as if he knew anything about it.
Typical human, always personifying everything and then making a fable about it.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm supposed to be the foolish one.
You? Foolish?
Yeah, I'm the dummy.
Why? Because you beat your brains out all day long, hopping all over the countryside just to stay alive?
No. Get this. The guy says I just play all day long.
You're kidding.
No, seriously. And you're supposed to be the smart one, saving, working, saving, storing up everything for the winter.
And doing nothing but crawling and carrying and crawling.
I think the humans like the idea of you crawling. I think it makes them feel superior.
And then they step on us.
Humans are insane. They'd step on me too if I didn't stay one jump ahead.
So, now this guy is pretending to praise me?
For being industrious.
For being a slave, more like it.
How do you figure that?
Well, my guess is that all this fableizing is really an attempt to influence human behavior. I don't think they care anything about either one of us.
So they'd rather act like ants than grasshoppers?
Not exactly. I think they'd rather have everyone else act more like ants than grasshoppers.
Huh. I hadn't thought of that.
You see, you grasshoppers represent the free spirits, the adventurers, the risk takers. You rely on your speed, your agility, and your wits.
That's true.
And you act as individuals, independently. And, of course, you get around.
I do get around all right, that's for sure.
Now, this guy who's spreading all these stories, is he just sticking close to home, doing the same job day after day? No, he's going out, making the rounds, talking to people, taking meetings.
More like a grasshopper.
Exactly.
Humans are such hypocrites.
Yeah, well, I've come to accept that. I just wish they'd stop putting all that red pepper around their doors and windows. I find that kind of irritating.
Thank you, Odie and Mashy. And now we have Buster Budget coming back after reading cat news. I think he's finally recovered. Anyway, he's going to perform Snow White and the Seven Drones.
Thank you. The sun was up, the weather was mild, and the queen was out of sorts, as usual. More jelly, she demanded. A drone brought her more jelly. More jelly, the queen repeated. So a drone brought her even more jelly. Hurry up with that jelly or I'll have someone's head, she screamed. The queen had plenty of jelly. The jelly wasn't the problem. The queen was actually upset because she had dreamt of a young maiden or nymph or someone who was fairer than she. However, the queen was too vain to acknowledge that such a thing was even possible. Still, the queen was irked, and when the queen got irked, the drones got worked. Finally, the first drone decided to reason with her. "Oh, my queen," he said, "what is it that troubles you?" The queen bit his head off. "More jelly!" she screamed. "Oh, my queen," said the second drone, "your chambers are already full of jelly." The queen bit his head off. "More jelly!" she screamed. The third drone just brought more jelly. The queen bit his head off. "More jelly!" she screamed. The fourth and fifth drones decided on a plan into which they would enter together, each bringing jelly. The queen regarded the pair quizzically. "Kneel, my loyal subjects," she finally said. The two drones knelt before the queen. The queen bit their heads off. "More jelly!" she screamed. The sixth drone decided on a different plan. He left the hive altogether and searched the surrounding countryside until he found a pale young maiden much fairer than the queen. "Okay, you, get out," said the sixth drone. "Oh, have pity," pleaded the pale maiden. "I suffer from some sort of deficiency." The sixth drone hesitated. "What is your name?" he finally asked. "I am called Snow White," replied the maiden, "but it is something of an exaggeration." Just then the seventh drone came up. "The queen wishes to see you," he said. "What would the queen want with a simple maiden like me?" asked Snow White. "I wasn't talking to you," said the seventh drone. "Very well," said the sixth drone, "I will go." And so the drones left Snow White where she was and returned together to the queen's chamber. "I have discovered a maiden named Snow White," said the sixth drone. The queen bit his head off. "More jelly!" she screamed. Then the seventh drone bit off his own head to save time. Snow White was actually a termite. Eventually, some of her fellow termites ate up the branch of the tree that was holding up the queen's hive, and it fell to the ground, rolled down a hill, and splashed into a nearby pond. The queen was drowned. You can never tell about some things.
Thank you, Buster Budget. I'm glad you're feeling better. And now we have a special message from Old Ben.
Howdy. I gotta interrupt now. I'm not good at this kind of thing, but they say I gotta, so here goes. Howdy, and welcome to Interruptions for Money. They done give me this script to read all about the station. Presenter pitches. What? Oh, somebody just told me I wasn't supposed to say that part out loud. Well, get ready. Here comes the real talking part. Did you know that in the last year, Arlington County has counted on Arlington Independent Media and WERA to help with promoting important public information about everything from COVID to voting, from getting a complete census count to having everyone vaccinated? That nonprofit organizations turn to us to help them with their communications needs or successfully produce their virtual events? That businesses counted on us for media education to help them navigate a socially distanced community? That parents relied on us for camps and other media enrichment opportunities for their youth when so many other activities had to be canceled? WERA 96.7 FM and AIM TV are critical community communication systems, and I'm proud to be part of and to support those systems. I hope you will too. You can show your support with a tax-deductible donation at WERA.FM or arlingtonmedia.org, or by sending us a good old-fashioned check. Visit WERA.FM or arlingtonmedia.org and look for the donate button in the upper right corner. Help support an organization that has been connected our community through media for 39 years. That's WERA.FM or arlingtonmedia.org to join me in supporting this important community resource. Thank you. Well, that's the end of the first presenter pitch. What do you think? I thought it was a pretty good script, only, well, for one thing, the WERA radio part hasn't been around for 39 years. It only started in 2016. The TV side is what's been around for 39 years. That's back when it was called Arlington Community Television. It's funny, but the radio folks hardly ever mention the TV channel. It was nice of them to put in that little bit for this script. Then there's the other thing. There are a whole lot of folks out there who know that Arlington County government has their own TV channel. They got their own web page too. They even send out emails if you ask for them. I guess it's kind of fair to say that Arlington Independent Media and WERA help out some with promoting public info and all that. But I don't think that's what AIM TV and WERA really do the best. What I like is that they give regular folks a chance to say stuff that might not be the same as what the Arlington government wants. On WERA, you can get away with saying that a lot of the Amazon stuff is a dumb idea. You can complain about the buildings being knocked down. But I think the best part is that a plain old guy like me can even mess around with their promotional pitches. That, to me, is what makes AIM TV and WERA really special. So come on, folks. Get out your wallets and pony up, okay?
Well, well, well. Thank you, Old Ben Blue. That certainly was a frank commentary. It'll be interesting to see if the management listens to this show. After that, it'll be interesting to see if we still even have a show. If we do, we can try out some of the other promotional pitches they sent us. Maybe we can turn the next one into a radio play. What will it be? Will it be a soap opera? A crime show? A western? There's only one way to find out. Tune in again for the next installment of Radio Free Filler. Oh yeah, what with it being springtime and all and the weather warming up, we were going to do a little piece called A Guide to the Lesser Known Festivals. But we didn't have time this week, so we'll do it next time. But at least this announcement will help us make our 26-minute goal for this week. Radio is kind of funny that way.